What is up, guys? My name is Nick and welcome back to a Modern Warfare Warzone video. And today I'm going to give you guys 10 unusual tips that not enough people follow, and these actually help to getting more victories, getting more kills, whatever your goal is in the game. And then towards the end of the video, I'll give you guys my actual loadouts in Warzone, what I changed on them, and all that kind of stuff, because people always ask me, how did you change your loadout? What did you switch? I can't tell what you did, but the gun seems so much better. So I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys the two guns that I use the most in Warzone, which is the Grau and the M13. I'm going to tell you guys what I did to those classes in the end, but we're going to be talking about a bunch of things, whether it's in the settings, whether it's in the game itself, what you could do to actually win, and even in the Gulag to get out of there alive over 90% of the time. So guys, if you could drop a like on this video, that would be absolutely amazing. We're going to set no goals. Just go ahead and drop that like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. We're getting closer and closer to 600k every single day, so that is amazing. And guys, don't forget to let me know how many wins you have down in the comments below. All your wins put together, whether it's solo, trios, quads, let me know down in the comments below, and let's get right into this. So the first one I want to talk about at number 1 here is the sound settings. Now this one is super important, and there's a lot of people who complain that they just cannot hear the enemies whatsoever in Warzone, and there is a bug in the game. You can't hear them, but there is things you could do to actually help you hear these enemies a lot better. One of them, well, first off, don't have your friends yelling in your mic while trying to actually play the game. But to actually go into the sound settings, this is probably a very important one. You want to go and change it to boost high or boost low. Play one game on boost high and then play one game on boost low to actually hear the difference in those. Now boost low I find better for hearing footsteps. Boost high I find a lot better for hearing gunfights and grenades going off and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to hear those footsteps of those enemies trying to sneak up on you, make sure you set it to boost low, and you're going to see it does change it off a little bit. Going down to number 2, I want to say, and this is something I don't normally talk about, it's Recon drones. So the first thing I want to talk about Recon drones is they are pretty useful. A lot of people don't actually use these, and you don't utilize them to their full potential. So at the beginning of the game, they're great, so you can see where enemies are and all that kind of stuff. But then towards the end of the game, the final circles, this is where these pesky little flying robots actually do come in hand. You could go ahead, find a great hiding spot, call in a recon drone, and literally see where everyone is, even if they're using Ghost. They are not hidden from it. So you can mark where they are, you can tell your teammates where they are, you could do whatever you got to do to actually get these people away. So there's people camping in the building, go ahead and get that recon drone in there. Even if they have Ghost, they will be seen. So definitely use those towards the final circle. Now if you're playing in a team game, you're playing trios or quads, this is tip number 3. All or no one use Ghost. If let's say your whole entire teammates, all of you are using Ghost, and then there's that one guy who isn't using Ghost whatsoever, that's useless. You're all using Ghost for no reason whatsoever. If you're all sticking together, if that one guy doesn't have it, you're popping up on the map when there's UAVs and stuff. So if you all have Ghost on, you won't be seen whatsoever. If one guy has it on and the other guys don't, there's no point in him having it. You might as well throw on a secondary onto your class to actually get better chances at winning gunfights and stuff. Have an AR, an SMG, a sniper, an RPG, whatever you want. Just make sure that if you're gonna run Ghost, every single one of you guys actually has it on, or it's completely useless. At number 4, man, holding a cluster strike or a cruise missile will allow you guys to run as fast as if you were running with a knife in your hand. And I've said this one before, but I want to say it again. There's a lot of people who try to run away from gunfights when I watch live streams and stuff, and they just can't run fast enough. They're holding a big weapon in their hand, and then they get shot in the back, and they don't know why. But if you actually have a cruise missile or a cluster strike, just hold it. Don't call it in. Just hold it in your hands and run off, and it's going to act as if you actually have a knife in your hand, which is the fastest moving weapon in the game for movement speed. And this is something you guys want to do if you have to get out of there fast. And then once you get to your exit place where you want to go ahead and call in that cluster strike or anything like that. And I don't think it's the cruise missile, because that one's controllable. I might have said that by mistake. It's definitely not, but it is the cluster strike. So go ahead and hold that and run around so you guys can get out of there easily. Now another one, this one's kind of unconventional because a lot of people don't like playing like this, but you gotta play aggressive. And when I say play aggressive, I don't mean just go and attack every single teammate. What I mean by this is always be on the move. Chase the kills and not the victories. Once you get a bunch of kills, you're going to be making the final circle a lot easier for you guys, so it's going to be a lot easier to get those victories. But what you want to do is every time you see red dots on the map, if they're nearby, go to them, try to get them out before they get you out from the back or something. If you guys know there's teammates camping out in the building, get a player with an RPG, throw C4s at them, do what you got to do, and just make it really hard on people. Don't let the enemies be the ones who find you guys, always be the ones to find them. Always third party if you have to. If you don't know what third partying is, that's if you actually see a gunfight going on between two teams, you wait for one of them to get pretty weak and then you go and finish them off. So you guys should definitely be doing that. At number 6, this one might seem very obvious, but again, when I watch live streams, a lot of people don't actually go ahead and do this. But you want to finish people off whenever possible. Like every single chance you get, finish them off. If you don't want to like spend time shooting at them for like 2 seconds, chuck a C4 at them, and it's a good way for them to go out pretty easily, or it'll take out a lot of their health at least. It might seem like a very obvious tip, but what a lot of people focus on in this game is getting knocks rather than getting the kills, and you always seem to forget that the enemies could actually have a self-revive. Now let's say someone has a self-revive, you have your back turned on him because you think he's knocked, or you did knock him and you don't want to worry about him. You're just inviting him to end you. There's no huge animation that shows him self-reviving. There's no sound that goes off when he starts self-reviving, so you have no idea if he's doing it or not. You might think he's knocked, but he's actually self-reviving, and then you have your back turned on him and he could just pop up and easily take you out. So definitely don't do that. Always finish them when you guys have the chance, and I'm going to keep saying that till the day I go, man. You gotta always finish them, and I know a lot of people get mad at that, but just do it. At number 7, I'm going to tell you guys how to set up your team loadouts, and this is a team loadout that is designated towards every single teammate on the team. So if you're playing with 3 guys, 4 guys, whatever it is, I'm going to give you guys my example of how I play when I play with trios and what classes my friends and I actually run. So I'm going to go player 1, player 2, player 3. You guys could either be any player you want and choose this loadout. So player 1, you definitely want to have an AR and an SMG for close to mid-range engagements, and then you focus on those people trying to actually flank you or come around you guys and stuff like that. Player 2 should be having an assault rifle and a sniper, so he could go for those mid and long range engagements. So if the player 1, let's say he has the SMG out, he's focusing on the people up close, player 2 could go and focus on the people a little further out, or even sniping at really long distances. And then player 3 should have an assault rifle. As you guys can see, that's the pattern here. Everyone should have the AR and probably an RPG. Now I would say shotgun, but shotguns are kind of useless in this. They only work for like indoors and super up close and stuff like that. But an RPG works at great distances. You could clear out enemies who get too close. You could clear out enemies camping in buildings, and yeah, so you definitely want to run that. Now all players should have C4s. That is the only lethal I think is actually worth having. You could set it off whenever you want. You could pop it beside a car, blow it up. You could put it on vehicles, let the enemies go in it, and then blow them up for fun and watch all that kind of stuff. And one player should only be having the heartbeat sensor. There's no need for everyone to have it. And then the other 2 players should either go for a concussion or a flashbang to impair the enemies, and then you could easily go and push them and all that kind of stuff. Now for your second loadout, when you get the second loadout drop in the game, you want the exact same class, but you want to make sure that you have ghost on it, and then you just pick up your secondary weapon from the ground after collecting that loadout, and you guys will be hidden from the map but still have your primary and your secondary as a sniper AR, SMG AR, or RPG AR, either like that. So this class really works. Go ahead and use it. Now I did say at the beginning of the video that I'm going to help you guys with those gulag, and this is very different for a lot of players. I know when you get in there, everyone has a different style of playing, but if you're one of those people who don't seem to be winning 85% at least of your gunfights in the gulag, you definitely want to actually listen to this. Now if you win most of them, you could skip this tip right away, but trust me guys, I'm going to show you guys how to actually win it better. Now it might not work for you, but this is what I've seen works a lot for me. The strategy is great, and I've won 95% of my fights in the gulag before because of this one. So forget the lethal and tacticals. Imagine you just don't have those whatsoever, because those take time. You got to pull it out, you got to hold it, then you got to throw it, and during all that time some dude could just come up and shoot you. So just forget about those. Just focus on killing the enemy as fast as possible. Now what I like to do is I like to rush to the side of the map where he spawns. So he's usually on the right, he's always on the right of you. Just go there as fast as you can. Try to go towards the middle of the map over there or the right side, but just go to where he spawns, that side. Now they normally don't expect you to be there, and when you're actually standing there, you can see all 3 exits from his side of the gulag, the left, the right, and the middle, and then you could easily pick them off. So do that, just go to the right side, rush it, they won't see it, go for it. Now the controller settings, before we get to the last tip here, this is number 9. The controller settings are really good, and these are 3 main settings that I use for Warzone specifically, and I think they work a lot better. So the button layout, you definitely want to be running on stick and move if you have a controller, and if you're on PlayStation 4, set it to flipped. If you're on Xbox, you could leave it as is. I find it feels kind of awkward when it's flipped on the Xbox controllers, but set it to flipped on PlayStation 4, and you're going to be shooting with L1 and R1 rather than L2 and R2, which is milliseconds faster, at least the response time is, so you will be able to shoot people a little quicker than they could shoot you if they're shooting with the bottom triggers and you start shooting at the exact same time. Now the use reload behavior should definitely be set to contextual taps, so you don't have to waste time holding square to pick up anything on the ground. You just press it and you got it. The dead zone is automatically set at 0.5, but I recommend bringing that up to 0.10 so that when you actually do get into those gunfights, if your thumb flinches just a little second, just a little millimeter, you won't actually lose target. You'll be able to stay on target and not worry about that. Now the ADS sensitivity for the low zoom, you want to keep it at 0.94. This is for all sights that are less than 3 times scopes. And then the advanced or the ADS sensitivity for the higher zoom, which is like snipers and stuff like that, you want to put that down to 0.90 so you could always stay on target. And this actually does help out a lot. Now the actual sensitivity in the game, that's whatever you guys feel comfortable with. I feel like the lower the better, but not too low. So somewhere around an 8 is what I like to play on, and you guys could definitely do that as well. Now for number 10, I'm gonna give you guys my updated class loadouts, and these I feel like are probably the best ones I've made for Warzone. So for the Grau, I have the muzzle monolithic suppressor, the barrel 26.4 inch Archangel, the underbarrel Ranger foregrip, and the ammunition 60 round mags with the Cronin Sniper Elite rear grip. I feel like this class is really good. I changed it just a little bit. Like I think the biggest major change is the Ranger foregrip and the Cronin Sniper Elite, and then everything is pretty much what I've already had on this class, but this one just works out to be a lot better and it's a lot more accurate. The M13, I got the muzzle, again, monolithic suppressor. You always want to have that on so you're not seen on the map. It gives you sound suppression and damage range. Then I got the barrel Tempest Marksman, the stock FSS close quarter stock, the underbarrel Ranger foregrip, and the ammunition 60 round mags. Ranger foregrip as well, you definitely want it for that recoil control, probably the best one within the game. But that's going to be it, guys. Those are the 10 unusual tips in Warzone. If you guys want to see a video like this again, maybe I could do 10 more, make sure to drop a like on this one. And like I said, let me know how many victories you guys have in this game mode in total, no matter what it is, solos, trios, quads, whatever it is. Let me know what you guys have down in the comments below. If you guys could subscribe to the channel, that would be absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.